Hi, I am Dr. Jami and would like to welcome you to this video. In this video, we shall learn how to evaluate a trigonometric function when angle is given in radians. You can see in front of you, there is written the unit circle. I will be using as unit circle, but in a different form. You can see some quadrants have been shown in front of you. So I introduce them because I will be using while evaluating a trigonometric function. We say these are the quadrants, first, second, third, and fourth quadrant. We are aware already with this one. And now we have to check the sign of the trigonometric functions in different quadrants. This is the first quadrant. In first quadrant, you can say all trigonometric functions are positive in the first quadrant. All trigonometric functions are positive. In second quadrant, sine and cosecant are positive. Remaining four functions are negative. In this quadrant, tangent and cotangent are positive, and remaining four functions are negative. Here, cosine and secant are positive, and remaining four functions are negative. There is a simple phrase to remember all this information. All students take calculus. That is, in first quadrant, A, students take chocolates. Take chocolates or take calculus. So this is a phrase helps us to remember signs of the trigonometric functions in different quadrants. Then next we need to know the values of angles in different quadrants, because this quadrant is less than pi. Pi angle is over here. This is 0. This one is pi by 2. And this one is 3 pi by 2. In this quadrant, we say all angles are pi minus theta. That is less than. And next quadrant, this one is less than 2 pi. So 2 pi minus theta. And 2 pi angle is at this point as well, as you are aware. And you can say in the first quadrant, we have 2 pi plus theta more than 2 pi angle is in this quadrant. And then there are some important formulas of negative angles, just like sine of negative x is minus sine x. Cosecant of negative x is negative cosecant x. So you can say these formulas. Cosine of negative x is cosine x. And its reciprocal, same thing, secant of x. Cosine is an even function, so its negative angle is always positive value. And tangent of negative x will be negative tangent x. And cotangent of negative x is negative cotangent x. So you can see here a list of formulas on this page, which are very useful while we are writing the values of the trigonometric functions. This is a question. Evaluate or compute cosine of 4 pi over 3. For this, we always write down this function. This 4 pi over 3, we can write this way. 4 pi over 3. Always write this first number as a multiple of the denominator. So we can write as 3 pi plus pi over 3. And simplify, divide everyone by 3. So 3 pi over 3 plus pi over 3. So this gives us pi plus pi over 3. It means the angle 4 pi over 3 can be written like this. Cosine of 3 pi over 3 pi plus pi over 3. And this one is equal to cosine of, you divide the first one by 3, so 3 cancel, just like you can see over here detail. So this will be pi plus pi over 3. So we have converted the given angle 4 pi over 3 in the form of pi plus pi over 3. According to the rule, this pi plus pi over 3 will be in quadrant number 3 because this is more than pi. So after checking the quadrant, we apply the formula, write down this cosine with this reference angle. So cosine of pi over 3. Cosine of pi over 3. Now, after writing this cosine with the reference angle, we shall look for the sine of the cosine in the quadrant. And in quadrant number 3, we know sine of this cosine is negative. Okay. If sine is negative, so we can write this way, minus cosine of pi over 3. And now we can take the value of cosine pi over 3 from the table. And cosine pi over 3 means cosine of 60 degree, and which is equal to half, and negative stays as it is. So this is the way to find the value of a trigonometric function when angle is given in radians like this. We write down the numerator as a sum or difference of two numbers such that the first is multiple of the denominator. So we can get an integral multiple of pi, then find the quadrant, check the sign of the function given there, and attach with this one. Let's try another question. You can see over here in this question. This is 7 pi over 4. So for evaluation, we write down as sine of multiple of 4, mean 8 pi. We can write 8 pi minus pi divided by 4. So 8 minus 1 is 7, same thing. Now divide by 4, so you get 2 pi minus pi over 4. Very good. So we got this angle 2 pi minus something. And you know 2 pi minus something formula is here in the first page. You can see 2 pi minus theta. So we can write over here 2 pi minus theta is in quadrant number 4, which is pi over 4 here. Now we have to check the sign of this sign in this quadrant, and sign in quadrant number 4 is negative. Okay. So just like you know over here, all students take calculus. ASTC can help us. So in the fourth quadrant, sign is negative. So simple method, write down sign with the reference angle, which is pi over 4, sine pi over 4, and sign is negative, attach the negative sign. And now sine pi over 4, we can take from the table or calculator, and which is radical 2 over 2. I hope you understood. Look at this question now. In this question, I use a green color. Cosine of 5 pi. 5 must be multiple of 6. So I can write as 6 pi minus pi, which is 5 pi over 6. So this gives us cosine of pi minus pi over 6. This angle is less than pi. when you subtract something. So it must be in quadrant number 2. So pi minus pi over 6 is here. And we have to check the sign of this cosine function in this quadrant. And we know cosine in quadrant number 2 is negative. So first of all, I write this cosine with the reference angle, which is cosine of pi over 6. Cosine is negative, so attach this negative sign, minus cosine pi over 6. So what is the value of cosine pi over 6? In the table or from the calculator, we check it. In the table, we see pi over 6 means 30 degree, and cosine pi over 6 is radical 3 over 2. Okay. So very simple. First of all, we change the given angle as a difference or sum such that the first is multiple of the denominator, so we can get an integral multiple of pi. Look for the quadrant, and pi minus pi over 6 is in quadrant number 2. Write cosine function with the reference angle, which is pi over 6. Attach the sign of the quadrant for the function, and then there is an answer. I hope you got it. Yes. This question now, it's a tangent. Exact value we have to find. Do in the same way. We know 3 pi minus pi over 3 pi minus pi is the same thing as 2 pi. So tangent is pi minus pi over 3. So this gives us angle is less than pi, so this is in quadrant number 2. Pi minus pi over 3 will be here. And check the sign of the tangent in this function, which is negative. So we write as first tangent with this one. Tangent of pi over 3. Sine of the quadrant. Now, minus tangent pi over 3 mean tangent 60. And from the table, you can see our calculator can help you. This is radical 3. So this is my answer of this question, tangent of 2 pi over 3. This question, in form of tangent, we write it. 1 over tangent 3 pi over. And you know, here tangent at this point, tangent is undefined. This is pi over 2. This point and this point is 3 pi over. Okay. And tangent is undefined over here. Once you draw the graph, you have seen. So at this point, tangent is going to be negative infinity toward this side, and here it is positive. So we can write over here 1 over negative infinity, which is going to be 1 over 0, which is going to be 0. So this negative sign doesn't matter for 0 because 0, positive and negative has the same value. 0 is a neutral integer. It has no sign. Go for this question. This is a secant. First, we make the angle within the range. So 6 pi plus pi over 6. Pi plus pi over 6. But we cannot find the value in terms of secant. First, we simplify secant with the reference angle. So this is secant of pi over 6. And pi plus pi over 6 is in this quadrant. and secant in this quadrant is negative. So we put a minus sign there. Now, furthermore, we can use the formula for secant. We know secant theta equals 1 over cosine theta. We can write as 1 over cosine of pi over 6. And from the table, you can check the value. Cosine pi over 6 is equal to radical 3 over 2, which can be written as minus 2 over radical 3, multiplying and dividing by the denominator, which is radical 3 over radical 3. And once you simplify, this gives us minus 2 radical 3 over 3. So always leave the final answer free from the radical sign. Okay. Now, this is something different. Here you can see a negative sign with the sine function. But I introduced in the beginning, when you have a sign of negative angle, it can be simplified this one, minus sine of x. So let's work on this one by using this formula. So this becomes minus sine of 5 pi over 3. Okay. Now, same way, the angle you can convert. This must be multiple of 3. So this is 6 pi minus pi over 3, which gives us minus sine of 2 pi minus pi over 3. So now we shall simplify it. This minus stays as it is. Okay. And this one, sine is written with the reference angle. So this is sine of pi over 3. This minus is there, the first one. Okay. Now, angle is 2 pi minus pi over 3 in this quadrant. 2 pi minus pi over 3 is in this quadrant. And sine in this quadrant has what sign? Negative or positive? Yes, negative. Okay, very good. So put the negative sign over there. So finally, we get sine pi over 3. And from the table, you can see pi over 3 means 60 degree. And sine pi over 3 gives us radical 3 over 2. I hope all of you understood it. The only thing is, with negative angle, first we apply the formula, and then same process will follow. Here you can see it's the same thing. And in case of a cosine, we know cosine of negative x is equal to cosine x. Why? Because cosine is an even function. Apply it. 7 pi over 4. Now, we can write down in the standard form. So we can find out reference angle, 8 pi minus pi over 4. Divide each term by 4. So cosine becomes 2 pi minus pi over 4. And this angle is in which quadrant? Should we guess? It is in quadrant number 4. Quadrant number 4. And here, quadrant number 4, what is the sign of cosine function? Tell me. So this is positive. So we write a positive sign here. And cosine function first we write with this one. Cosine of pi over 4. And cosine pi over 4 is radical 2 over 2. This is our final answer of this question. Now, look at this one. This question is cosine 8 pi over 11 and use a calculator. So you can find the value of this one by using a calculator. You can fix your calculator at radian mode. Okay. And then you can evaluate it quickly. I hope you can do this yourself. Please try yourself. And thank you very much.